Yeah, public opinion's not gonna be very high of me, is it? Hello everyone, I'm Echo, and welcome to Dishonored 2. Now, technically I have played this game on this channel before, but I played as Emily, and Emily and Corvo are very, 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 very different play styles and playthroughs. Hell, even their dialogue tends to be different, and the way they act is much different because Corvo's more of a chaotic killer and Emily tends to hold human life a bit higher up than her father. You have to make a choice, to play as Corvo or to play as Emily. And today, we're playing as Corvo, motherfuckers. Get ready for some hijinks. Oh god. Have I not learned my lesson? Actually, yes, I should. I remember how to play this game, but a refresher on the controls would be nice. Okay, yeah, I remember how to play this game.
If only I could spend every day running and jumping. Now let's see how quick my feet are.
Oh! Yeah, my hands remember. My brain doesn't quite, though. Brain doesn't quite remember the timings.
Learned well.
Oh, I nearly forgot. Yep, choke daddy. Why'd I say that?
Oops. Got spotted.
What the fuck do you mean got spotted? We had him! Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Stay low and out of your enemy's line of sight.
Uh-huh.
Didn't hear a thing.
Nope.
Why fight when you can slip past?
That's your motto. That very much is your motto. But not Corvo's. Not when his daughter's in danger.
Remember, a pistol will wake up everyone in the building. Your crossbow is quiet.
Quiet-ish. I wouldn't call that exactly quiet. That's still kinda loud. You know, all things considered. Also, you know, the guttural screams of the person you just pinned with a live bolt of ammunition.
Perfect shot.
Like, I can imagine that would be quite a loud scream.
Time for some more weapons and combat training. Let's beat
This
each
was
other
what
up, shall we?
Okay. Back.
Yes. You hit hard. Good. That's my
How
daughter.
should I take that?
When someone swings a sword at you, block. You can choke an enemy out, even in combat.
You really like the choking, don't you? You really let this go on for way too long.
Go for the fatality.
Like father, like daughter.
Feel better knowing you can take care of yourself. When trouble does finally come, you're ready to fight.
Something I'm kind of curious about. I know what happens when you play as Emily. What happens when you play as Corvo? Basically, if you don't know, when you play as Emily, Corvo becomes frozen in stone. But is it going to be the same thing? Because Corvo was only frozen in stone because, well, he has the power of the outsider. You know, he was dangerous. But Emily, not quite so much. So I wonder if it's going to change.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have succeeded, but my father, Corvo Atano, hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces. All these years later, am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off my enemies and dressing it up like my father and I are responsible. I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Right, Crown Killer. That's kind of a secondary plot to the main.
Watch your step, Majesty.
I'm not looking forward to all the ceremony today.
Your signet ring. There, you're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
It's been a long time since I've seen this.
All hail Her Imperial Majesty, Emily Caldwin.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jasimanise Caldwin. May her memory survive through the ages.
Emily,
You look tired, Father.
every year I think the anniversary of Jasamine's death will be easier, but it never is.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these assassinations are a misguided effort to protect me.
No, someone's trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsey says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's
I
intriguing.
can see.
Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsey? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Atano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks. For now, I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jasimanise Caldwin, your rightful Empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Impossible.
My mother had a sister?
My dearest niece, hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Yuhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Bad
Little
choice.
sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector. How naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful Empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
Here we go. And here goes Corvo. Oh, you fucker.
Can't still my heart.
Right. She has powers from something other than the outside. And there goes the sword. Here we get to choose. Play as Emily or play as Corvo. I'm actually curious to see where this goes. Yep.
Cast you in cold marble.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
Corvo Atano, how handsome you are for a man of your age.
Thank you.
And how long had you hidden the mark of the outsider? I expect it's a wonderful story.
I'll lock him in the Empress's chambers, and then I'll bring him to Coldridge Prison until his trial. My father lost it all. Sent me to the City Watch, one step above begging. Think I had to take your orders? Corvo Atano, son of a Zirconan tradesman.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lord Corvo, what
Behind you.
It'll be all Captain Mayhew.
And with my sword as well.
What kind of sword folds in half?
A very useful one. I can imagine Corvo's not doing well. Emily just getting kicked in the face probably would make her not do all that well. But Corvo had the mark of the outsider stripped from him.
There's a legend in the City Watch. The Empress's last resort, the safe room inside your daughter's chambers, is holding enough gold to buy an island. And they say this is one of the only 2 keys.
Already, here's a difference. In Emily's playthrough, she was just placed in the room because they didn't see her as much.
What happened? Alexei, the throne room, Emily.
I thought Corvo was
Nothing
bound.
I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
Oh yeah, and you need your mark back. Interesting, I thought he was bound.
Hold your horses, Corporal Dial. Ramsey knows what he's doing. These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Zirconos. And now that he's helped the rightful Empress take the throne, the Ramseys are going to be back in fashion in Dunwall. You'd be smart to remember that.
See, here's one thing. You guys have royally pissed off the big honcho of assassins. Do you not remember what happened several years ago when someone tried to do something similar to this? It didn't end well. Interesting launching of her mother's boat. As well, like any other game made by Arcane. Is this game made by Arcane? I'm not so sure. I feel like I'm misremembering developers. Either way, just like Prey, this game is... well, it has a lot of reading. So, you know, I'll read what's interesting, what builds the story of the game and the world we're in, but ultimately I'm gonna hold back a little bit. In our murder, I cannot remain silent on the matter. Strange is not that all the victims have openly opposed you. Not strange, then also very convenient. Yeah, as if it's not convenient for this bitch, who was never heard of beforehand, to come in here with these big robot soldiers, claim she's the sister of our dead mother, Corvo's dead girlfriend or wife? Not sure which it was. And then to just accuse them of being the crown killer that just so happened to be constantly doing these things and just happened to take out their victim that previous night. Convenient. Is there anything you wish to tell me, Majesty? How can I be an advisor if you do not include me in these most sensitive of endeavors? I feel I must be the only person in Dunwall who doesn't know the truth about the Crown Killer. Don't leave me in the cold. I remain, trusted servant and advisor, Lord Helmswater. Well, maybe you can help us out. Interesting. I thought that maybe they would change up what happens to Emily, but it makes sense. A lot of...
Maybe I should just spin it. Pick a place to lick my wounds. I've got to regroup.
Yeah, you're in a pretty bad shape. You got no mark of the outsider, and while you were very good assassin and royal protector beforehand, you are up against more than you can handle.
Dunwall always has a way of turning sour.
Yep.
Just as soon as you get comfortable.
Very much does. God, I love this game. Here we go.
Delilah took away the mark of the outsider. No more sorcery.
For now. But as well, that is interesting. How was she able to do that? Clearly, she was given some kind of power.
Lord Protector, I can't believe Ramsey's a traitor.
Of course he is.
Is Lady Emily all
There's a
right?
coup underway. She's imprisoned for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Maybe through Emily's safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks, looking for you. Get away and help Emily.
I'm sorry, Captain Mayhew. Goodbye.
See, something interesting that I haven't mentioned yet. We got our sword. Something interesting I haven't mentioned yet. There was events in the first game, a DLC specifically called The Death of the Outsider. And the Outsider is the man who gave us our powers. Now, if I'm being honest, the Outsider is not a good guy nor a bad guy. He is simply there. He is a person, he exists within this world. And he has a deeper understanding to the magics that make it work. So, honestly, the Outsider very well could have gave her the powers that allow her to take away our mark. Maybe because of the events, but I know of future events in this game that kind of work against that theory. So I don't exactly know where the Outsider stands, nor who gave Delilah her power, because there's no DLC for this game, I don't think. So it's not like anything that could maybe give us an idea. Right.
As we both know, whoever's killing off my detractors is doing so for calculated effect, undermining me. The Crown Killer is being guided by someone. But who? Tomorrow's the anniversary of Mother's death. A sad day for us both. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've protected me, and taught me how to protect myself. You've helped me see what was right for the people of the Empire. We drained the flooded district, fought back the gangs, and yesterday we launched a beautiful ship in Mother's name. I'm trying to become the sovereign she wanted me to be. But Father, I wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah, that's something interesting. Like, I wish they took a different avenue for Emily. It makes sense because the game's so heavily based around the idea of her being trapped in marble and stuff of that sort, same with Corvo. So it was a bit easier, but with how high-end games made by these producers tend to be, I'm sad that they didn't take the time to produce a kind of more apt thing, because they have no clue how dangerous Emily is. They have no clue about any of Emily's abilities. She was trained in secret by her father. So very well, they wouldn't know to do much.
I've got to get over to one of the other districts.
They wouldn't know to do anything. Yeah. That's the difference between Corvo and Emily. I'll take that. Emily was stealthy, or at least that's what she was intended to be. She could do combatives, if need be. Oh, fuck's sakes, they killed the maids? God, who's gonna clean up all this blood then? She could do combatives, if need be, but it was not her primary kind of moveset. That fell in more stealth, you know, hiding, sneaking about, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Emily wasn't exactly killer, you know? She was better with stealth, which typically also provided a harder challenge, but it all depended. Night-night.
Disloyal dogs.
Yep. Damn, you really throw them, don't you? Also, did they really think Emily would have been one thing to think that, you know, locking her in a room might keep her there. But Corvo? Really? He was an assassin before he was an outsider assassin. Dunwell citizens expressed shock and fury. Yet another outspoken critic of the Empire, Empress Emily Caldwell, has met with a violent demise. The latest victim is none other than the Achabon Bole, nobility entrepreneur and supporter of the arts. Bole recently wrote an opinion piece harshly criticizing the Empress for what he called her slip-hood style of governance and her willful negligence of duty. Authorities are convinced that the Crown Killer is the culprit, given the gruesome details left at the crime scene. As Her Majesty was not outspoken adversaries, as most of Her Majesty's outspoken adversaries fall one by one, the notorious assassin, we boldly ask, is now the duty of the royal protector to murder all who dare criticize the throne? Not exactly. I mean, if they posed a genuine threat, then absolutely Corvo would have ripped him to shreds. But unless they actually posed a threat, Corvo wouldn't touch him. Because he knew if they suddenly posed a threat that he didn't realize, despite the fact that he would, because he's him, he's Corvo, he could still wipe the floor with any human when he had his mark of the outsider. Clearly, in one swift motion, he cut one guy's head off and freaking pierced the heart of another. Like, if that doesn't scream unstoppable killer, I don't know what does.
With the throne room blocked off, we should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by.
Cool.
I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the King and Queen of Morley. Did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain. Ramsey's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's anyone else's fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play.
Yeah, that's another thing. Corvo and Emily have very different views.
Stinks around here.
Very, very different views. Yeah, you killed the people who were supposed to clean up.
No.
Oh.
Is he?
He's seen the bodies. Doesn't quite know what to make of them. That's me and you, Morty. Have a little...
Wait for my orders.
At your command.
The likes of you shouldn't live in a palace.
He's wounded. Let's finish it.
Okay. I'm gonna get a sneak attack on those idiots. I didn't realize one could see me. Alright.
Another victim. What are you waiting for?
And he didn't hear a damn thing. Hello, Morty. You're all alone. Time to face your maker.
Early retirement.
Ah, shit. And cut off
Nothing will stop me
your
from
quip.
bringing you home, Emily.
Sorry, Corvo. I cut off your quip a little bit there. So these are two guys Corvo dismembered. Damn.
Murdered for nothing more than their loyalty to Emily. Ruthless. Senseless killing.
Yeah. What? Yes, I know.
Emily, I'll make this right. I promise.
There's a hint about the fact that Delilah isn't quite normal from the very beginning. It's her voice. So I am questioning. I can't remember Delilah's story. I can't remember if it holds much weight or anything else of that sort.
Barred from the outside.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't mess with it then. Okay, let's go investigate the road chambers and then move on.
Trouble has found us again, Jessamine.
Yeah. You're 0 to 2 when it comes to keeping family members safe. You know that, right? 0 to 2, dude. You lost your wife or girlfriend, not sure which. Not sure if that's even a thing in your world. And now you've lost your daughter. Granted, she's not dead, but at this point, probably is. Ah. So I can unlock that. And actually listen to this, because I absolutely missed it. Never mind. It's just a typewriter. That was one of the audiograph things. If that's Emily's office and this is her room, doesn't that mean... Oof. Thinking the mindset Corvo? Let's just not. Here we go.
Anton Sokolov made this lock.
Right. The inventor himself. Probably one of the greatest inventors in all of Dunwell.
Emily would fall asleep in here after the plague.
Interesting. We're also gonna get some interesting details because, like, Corvo would speak about his time or Emily would speak about Corvo's spending time in here and stuff, but Corvo would also have his own specific experiences related to his daughter. Pistol bolts. Nice, we're gonna get some good use out of the pistol. So it's Whispers from the Void. Tendencies on psychological existence that foreign realm expert. It's a common story. A person has stopped breathing, pinned under carnage wheels or some other tragic happenstance, and is thought to be dead, but when the weight is removed, they make a quick recovery. But nonetheless, for a moment or two, this person was lost to us. Lost to the world itself. And what did they experience while in this temporary death? Darkness? Nothing? No, indeed not. They tell us, as so many have before, that they were in a peculiar place and can describe it vividly. And who among us does not know the place? Have we not all seen it in our dreams? This place we share in the furthest reaches of our mind, the realm where nothing makes sense, where one is at once both lost and at home. The void. Right where the outsider lives. The void, the in-between. And interestingly enough, I think, if I remember correctly, that means Corvo did die in the first game at the start. He died, but the outsider brought him back. For what reason? We don't know. Or at least I don't know. They're from... Wyman? Emily, I don't want to wake you this morning, but you'll forgive me since we must have said goodbye 100 times yesterday night. And the only chance I get to see you with your hair all whichever way is while you're asleep. As soon as the sun rises, you'll put on your empress face. It makes me happy that I know your real face. The one that laughs our silly rhymes. I don't want to go back to Morley, but I'm needed there. It'll be 4 months before we see each other again. I'll miss you, and yes, I'll bring you some white leaf tobacco for your hookah. Lord Corvo, if you're reading this letter as per your royal protector functions, no, I am joking and perfectly aware that the White Lotus tobacco is forbidden and Garrelston. Take care, my darling Emily. Anything to say? Of course not. Oh. That doesn't surprise me. Out of Emily, that does surprise you. Holy shit. Corvo Atano, the royal protector in our times. Part 1. His parents were old at the time of his birth, and his father died in a lumber accident outside the city when Corvo was still young. Around that time, his only sibling, a firstborn sister, moved away to Morley, and the family subsequently lost all contact with her. Only 16, Corvo dazzled the people of Kerneric when he entered and won the annual Blade Verbane. The specters from all over Corno were thrilled to see someone so young and striking from a working class family advance through duel after duel, eventually taking the prize. This unexpected outcome secured Corvo junior officer rank in the Grand Saracan Guard. As a soldier, he was involved in a number of conflicts against organized criminal groups, rogue city-states with Cornos, and pirate bands along the chain of islands radiating east from the Serkonos. Sent from his homeland at the age of 18 by the Duke of Serkono, then Thorsten Albin, Father Luke Albin, Corvo was assigned to serve the Emperor in Dunwell as a diplomatic gift. His Serkonan heritage made him a bit of an outsider in Dunwell. No kidding. But the capital city must seem exotic and full of old-world mystery. A few months after he moved to Dunwell, it's recorded that Corvo received the word that his mother had passed away several weeks after his disappearance from Knarak. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So he was a skilled swordsman before any of this.
I'd better take these.
No kidding. Bone charms. Ewing tradition skimmery. Bone charms, a sailor's blessing, they say. The carving itself is a practice from long back past these salty dogs to young greenhorns still finding their sea legs. In old times, sailors cut into the tusks of an ice seals and into the arms-long fang, and fangs of the bearing that roamed the islands north of Ervin. Once the whaling trade began, the practicers began engraving the bones of those great beasts, rendering charms that sing in the night and grant some small boon, increasing a lover's vigor or providing defense against pregnancy. Not quite. Ooh. Just give me a second to finish looking around first. Part 2. In an act of rebellion, young Jasimanise Caldwell, who chose Corvo as her royal protector when Corvo was 19 and she was 12, he served her loyally as a bodyguard, courier, and some say spy before and after she was crowned empress. Though it was scandalous gossip at the time, it is said to begin a love affair around the 1823 when Jasimanise was 18 and Corvo 25. Oh. That'll, is that weird? By modern standards, yes. But in this world, based on what timeline this is kind of branching off from of the real world, I guess not terribly. The next chapter of, at least he waited till she was 18. The next chapter of Atano's life is like something out of a legend. During the time of the rat plague, when the Empress fell, Corvo was accused of renegance and sins for execution. He was thrown in Coleridge prison and publicly reviled. He escaped and, as part of a small conspiracy, decided to throw down the tyrannical Lord Renegade. Corvo struck back at the people who killed the Empress and who wronged him. As the Lord Renegade fell, the loyalist conspiracy turned on Corvo, poisoning him. Surviving through some inner resilience, he located the true assassin of the Empress and fought his way out of the flooded district. Corvo eventually cornered the last of the loyalists on Sparrow Island, the Brownings Lighthouse, and rescued Emily Caldwell, heir to the throne. Romantic involvement between Corvo Tano and the Empress Jasmine Caldwell was a terribly kept court secret, and thus it was widely held that Emily Caldwell is their daughter. Following their intergiving, Corvo watched as Emily began to rule the island. Interesting. I'm wondering if future versions of these are going to give us insight into the more of the in-between this game. God, I've been recording for 15 minutes already. That's how much time this game takes up.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
Fair enough. Holy shit. You know what? That is one hell of a way to make sure no one steals your gold. Just melt it down into a big fucking brick. Ain't no one walking away with that. Holy shit. We can take a smaller one though.
This could be handy.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Besides, you know, trying to pull down our pants, it'll be quite handy. And here we go. Emily doesn't take
Out into the world once more.
But Corvo.
How many people had forgotten this mask?
Corvo sure as hell does. There we go. To Dunwell Streets.
Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
Smell
Gotta
the
get
fresh
out of
Dunwell air. Okay, let's go.
Delilah turned Emily to stone. I will find a way to make her flesh again.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while. Probably gonna need some help from the outsider if we're gonna do that, though that possibly means we have to temporarily die. Because clearly the outsider's not an easy man to get a hold of. You know, you can't just call him up, hey, dude, can you help me turn my daughter from stone to flesh? He's like, how the fuck did you get this number? How did you know I had a phone? Oh. Shit. That is rough. Hey. That's one way to do it.
Traitorous dog.
Are you gonna keep saying that? I get it, they're traitors.
I need to find a ship. The city is crawling with the Duke's men.
Ramsey's dead. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Corvo Atano has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find him. That's it. You've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkonos, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now.
Fair enough, you kind of are screwed at this point, so I guess hunting down the lethal assassin who uprooted an entire conspiracy that deeply embedded into Dunwell long before he ever became the freaking outsider's little pet, as I like to say sometimes. Long before that, he was already dangerous, and then he got the outsider's mark and executed the entire conspiracy and everyone involved with magical ease. I'd be surprised that you're not running in terror if it weren't for the fact that you, are kind of screwed at this point. Sink or swim at this point.
Something feels wrong.
Alright. Yeah, you're right. Something does feel wrong. Your neck was still intact. That's what was wrong. Your neck wasn't detached or separated from itself yet. Same with this guy. See? He could still breathe. I thought they triggered an alarm. Apparently not. Wow. You see your friend dead and you don't start screaming for help? Night night. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you see your commander beheaded and just think, oh yeah, this is fine. There's no reason to scream and panic because clearly Corvo isn't around. Clearly the Master Assassin didn't cut my commander's throats. You know, that's crazy talk. Right? Crazy talk. He couldn't possibly be behind the death of my freaking commander. I think there's only one soldier remaining. I'm gonna execute him and then go search these areas around. I know there is a lot of stuff hidden in these maps.
Attention.
Weird art. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be robbing everyone blind. Don't get me wrong, I definitely fucking am. I'm not even gonna hide it.
I think I just saw something. Is
Oh,
someone
you
there?
did. Yeah, you saw someone alright and you killed him. Wow. I'm gonna have to get reused to the controls, definitely. How'd you miss me? This is why you guys are so dead. And you have the advanced AI. Safe, right? I need to find safe combinations. Second day, month of Earth, 1852. I lived in Dunwall most of my life, surviving even the dreaded rat plague 15 years ago. I remembered people fighting and killing each other for half an empty elixir flask. I dealt with housebreakers repeatedly back then, and ultimately decided to sell my house at Calvering in favor of a more secure location. Surely I won't be disturbed anymore. Living so close to the Dunwell Tower itself. On some days, I've even seen the Empress riding by in a carriage. Once already, I thought I spied the Royal Protector on a nearby rooftop, and watching a street alter caution below. So I feel safer now. I have less space here, but should still be able to conduct my experiments without fear of losing my expensive lab equipment or the funding my work so dearly depends upon. Non-answer for the safe, though. Hi.
Kinda dry. You really go for a whiskey or something. Maybe one of them 2-penny drinks.
Good you now. Well, here's something to help your dry throat. A little blood. You know, wet the whistle. Wonder if anyone saw a dead body at the end of the road.
Kiela, sorry you missed us. I'll be taking the children away from Dunwall earlier than expected. A few weeks before the upcoming anniversary of Empress Jasamine's death. Things are about to get bad, and I'm not just talking about the Crown Killer. Besides, there's profit to be made bringing new silver miners down south. So arrangements must be made. Ha, for now.
That is not helpful. Hey, 451. Definitely didn't guess that. Okay, I did, but I wasn't gonna get my ass kicked by a freaking safe. Guards can't just go in their Rambo style. They'll kill me. That's one thing. With Corvo.
That's Corvo Atano!
Night. As I was saying, with Corvo Atano, you can't just go in Rambo style because they will probably kill you because we are on the hardest difficulty. Normally, they are quite not dangerous. What the hell? It's not me. You can't go in Rambo style in most cases because they will kill you. This is the first level, so we're relatively fine besides draining our resources a little bit. if you want to live, I
there?
suggest...
Hey, who is...
I don't know that.
Finally know your place.
Okay, let's try not dying. It's gonna be a common occurrence, isn't it? Huh, can't believe this safe is actually keeping me, well, safe. I can't believe the safe actually protected me.
Kinda dry. Could really go for a whiskey or something. Maybe one of them 2-penny drinks.
I can fix your dry throat for you if you want, just like I fixed last guy's. As long as I actually do this properly this time.
Anyone here? Show yourself. I hope they accept my transfer. I've got to get over to one of the other districts.
You're gonna regret this. Yeah, just pretend like you don't see me. I have a pistol. I can kill you both in one swift movement. Screw it.
Oh, shit. Huh? Hey, who is... What?
Yeah, you're gonna find a lot more bodies than just them. Trust me on that. I left quite the trail of death. Quite the trail of death. Hello.
My family and I moved here 3 years ago. Biggest mistake we ever made.
Yeah. Interesting. So are these events that are occurring because of what she's done, or...
So it's a coup.
That's interesting.
Shh. We shouldn't be talking about this.
Until later, then.
Hi.
I can't do anything for you. You'd better run.
100 times I thought about leaving this place.
You'll be weighing 100 more then. Night night.
I didn't sign up to fight some freak like the Crown Killer, a cannibal and whatnot.
That is probably a good indication that it's not Corvo or Emily. Neither of them are cannibals. Here we go.
Huh?
Night night. Wow. Sneak attack damage is insane. Whoa, okay.
Poor guy.
Yeah, not our work. Clearly, not our work. Sometimes we may leave bodies, but we don't write messages most of the time. That's another indication the place was robbed. The Crown Killer stole. We, for the most part, don't steal. Laura, don't tell me my business. My family's been in this game for a long time, and I'm not acting alone. Currently, I have several friends working on similar pamphlets aimed at further turning public opinion against Emily Caldwell and our cursed royal protector. Lord Bramley is calling hers Lady Bramley is calling hers bastard's daughter. That ought to lighten them up at court. Nathan Bridgen is nearly finished with prosecution for Corvo Atano and giving consideration to replacing my own as should Parliament rule a modest proposal. Interesting. Yes, I know she's the Empress, but eventually she'll bow under the weight that we will bring down upon her. First, the gentry here in Dunwall, and then the Parliament, finally the other isles. By early next month, look for these works plastered on the walls here in the capital city. But if you're abroad, you'll see them in Dorfken, Albin, Carrick, Kellenny, and Euro as well. I have friends all over, Lorne. Don't let it slip your mind for a second. Huh. You know, that very much would indicate to me that Lauren may just happen to be the killer. I don't know why. Just a hunch. Just a weird feeling that he may have done something to piss her off. You know, considering how many innocent people you killed, I really don't feel bad about doing this. To any of you.
Who's that? What's up?
Oh, that's unfair.
Over there! On the stairs!
Special edition. Empress Delilah Caldwin, rightful heir to the throne, has taken power in Dunwall. The usurper, Emily Atano, and the murderous royal protector have been arrested.
Get out of here.
You have until tomorrow to print it.
I never should have listened to your rubbish.
Don't make a pig's ear of this, printer. I'm the one who gave you the scoop on the crown killer.
Half of which couldn't be verified. I must have been rat-assed out of my...
Night-night.
What?
You're not fit for that watch uniform.
Yeah, I wouldn't call for them. They're already dead. I already read that. Can I calm you? Hi.
That man, part of the Duke's coup, I'm sure of it now. And I saw him talking to Captain Ramsey of the City Watch.
What's done is done, but I had nothing to do with the killings.
I know that. It was irresponsible of me to print the name Crown Killer. I allowed myself to be coerced. Forgive me.
Forgiveness isn't my specialty.
Yeah.
Whatever happens next, lay low. But when the time comes, tell people the truth.
You can count on it. I won't ask you what your plans are, but for the sake of Dunwall and for the Empire itself, I hope you succeed.
Fair enough. Tipper. Don't mind me. Also, I may have ransacked everything you own. Don't mind the screaming. I would say gunshots, but there wasn't any.
I don't know that ship, but maybe the captain can help.
I mean, they asked for you personally, so they probably can. Hopefully can.
Road is blocked by order of the City Watch.
Locked? What am I supposed to do now?
Not my concern, citizen. I'd advise you to return to your home.
If I can't get through, that's it for my shop. The entire month will be ruined.
Trust me, you don't want to be out on the streets right now. Move along.
Oh, you have no idea. The streets are currently covered
Keep
with
my
blood.
mind on my duties. Of course I can read. What's he think?
You sure?
I'm stupid?
Wow, that was brutal. Like, brutal, but yet effective.
No way! Huh? That's Corvo Atano!
I keep potatoing when it comes to healing.
Damn it. I need to pee.
I can fix that for you. Don't you know when you die, your body releases everything? So, fix your problem.
That's Corvo Atano!
What was that?
In the spirit?
Let's finish it!
The shooter has to be hiding over there!
I was about to say, in the spirit of just getting this done and over with, let's just use the gun. That didn't work out. God, you are just eagle-eyed, aren't you?
Dude. What? That's Corvo Atano!
God, how fucking eagle-eyed are you? Fuck's sakes. I've been basically sniffing dudes' butts before and they not known I'm there. This motherfucker can see me from half a mile away. Behind a barrel while I'm crouching. Like, what the hell?
Oh, what happened here?
Don't ask.
No.
Don't ask.
Who does things like that?
I do.
I don't know that ship, but maybe the captain can help.
Whee! Holy shit. You know, public image isn't gonna be all that good after they watch you rip these guys apart.
Damn it! I'll kill you! You aren't going anywhere!
Yeah, public opinion's not gonna be very high of me, is it?
It's been hard getting any business
Pay
done
my
here in
taxes
Dunwall.
and all
That's
the
all
fees.
about the
Leave it to the Hatter gang to try to profit from the chaos of this coup.
Can't make it easier for them.
So they're bad guys, right?
We need a network of shop.
Someone's out for trouble over there. Looky, a visitor to Hatter.
Yep. They're bad guys. Okay, so note self. Hatter gang is bad guys.
Oh well.
Oh well indeed. All's well that ends with oh well. I do. Who the hell keeps asking that? Preserve ammo and time. Whee! I'm just gonna swim to the lake. Or to the boat.
Came here to warn you. Maybe too late. Now what?
Not exactly. You're not too late. I'm here, of course. As you knew I would be.
Lord Protector, forgive me for saying it, but you look like death warmed over.
It's been an unusual day. There's a coup underway, and I'm being blamed for the Crown Killer murders.
My name's Megan Foster. I work with an old ally of yours, Anton Sokolov.
Ah.
We learned something scary down in the south, and I came to warn you.
I know, Anton. The Duke's here with a woman named Delilah who's seized the throne. They have Emily, and I barely got out. For now, I have to get away, recover my footing.
Bad things always seem to happen in Dunwall.
Fair enough.
Feels like the end of the world.
Usually.
I need to get to Karnaca, where the Crown Killer murders started. Delilah must have been down there for a while, and I've got to figure out what's going on.
The dreadful whale will get you there. Should we go?
Do I have a choice? Yeah.
Let's go.
Off we go. Oh, we're heading seriously into chaos. Overall chaos level high. Do I care much? Not really. What's up with the music?
Something's not right, but it seems familiar somehow.
Meaning... Door is blocked? Whoa!
I remember this endless cold.
The outsider's realm. So he's brought us in. But why?
Where are you? You might as well show yourself.
Fair enough.
Corvo, old friend. Do I even have to say it? You've lost another empress. I gave you my mark for a reason. I wanted to know what happens when you take an honorable man's life away. When you push his face down in the mud. What will he do, given the chance? And what a sight it was. You gave yourself over to blood and terror. Gave it everything you had. Then you spent 15 years making sure it wouldn't happen again. But now it has. And this time, you know where it leads. Will you do it all again? Where is that good man now?
Accept the outsider's mark. Right, you can reject it. I'm not that stupid.
I felt this so long
I need my
ago.
powers.
The void. It was still there all along.
Here we go.
Never
Link.
thought I'd be here again.
Oh.
Feels
There we
as
go.
good as I remember.
Yeah. Emily and Corvo do have different powers. Corvo has blink, whereas Emily has a move that's a bit more of a pull. Corvo's is a bit more teleport to where I say.
Now I'm going to save my daughter and win back her throne.
Fair enough, that's usually the plan. Oof. Hello, love.
There you are, my love.
Ah, right.
Know you. Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Jessamine, if all I can hear are the last echoes of your voice, that's enough.
Only the last of my essence, with you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms. But I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
Yep. There we go. This leads us to runes. And if you don't realize, this is Jasamine's heart. Yeah, Outsider has some fucked up rules.
Who is Delilah, really? Jessamine's sister? Bearing the Outsider's mark?
Apparently so.
Delilah slit a man's throat for a pair of shoes and painted some of the most brilliant portraits of the age, all in the same year. Survival and ambition, art and magic, with a cunning that makes sycophants of those around her. All of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game, and now she's an empress. But I'll let you in on a secret. She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
Which is... Of course you're not gonna expand upon that. Thanks for that little tidbit, you prick.
Just when you think you've got it all figured out, just as you're starting to relax, you look up and there are wolves at the gate. Wolves with red muzzles. Hungry for your insides. Everything has turned to shit. Last time I saw Karnaca, I was just 18. Boarding a ship bound for Dunwall. It was dawn and I'd been up all night dancing, 3 sheets to the wind. I was puffed up with the old Duke's favor. And I thought I was the greatest swordsman the Isles had ever known. In the 36 years since, I've buried countless enemies. Most deserved what they got, but I wonder if that even matters. I've stopped dozens of assassins, but the one who got through eats at my dreams. Who'd have thought I'd come home to Karnaca, the most wanted man in the Empire, following the trail of a monstrous killer? Who'd have thought I'd be on the run again, ready to wade through another river of blood?
Those are the differences between Emily and Corvo. Corvo takes a much bloodier approach. Meanwhile, Emily tends to take a much more kind approach, wanting to find the better in people. They're from Corvo. This is Mayhew. I am deeply sorry to inform you that your daughter, Captain Alex Mayhew, was killed in action during the recent coup in Dunwall. Alex was brave, loyal, and selfless until the end. As always, she has always been since the day she fought alongside the Empress and saved her from the Carnage attack. While they were just kids, Emily had never had a better friend. It has been an honor to know and work with your daughter. Be assured that as soon as Emily is restored to the throne, and I swear she will be, make sure Alexia's death is properly memorialized. Interesting. Yeah, right a little bit down. Not sure if I ever did this every time. I'll read that at the start of next episode. Let's spin those runes real quick. I'm gonna need this. And for right now, I'm gonna end this episode of Dishonored 2 off here. I love being back to the Dishonored games. It is interesting, you know? Like, I have played this game on the channel before, but that was as Emily, and that was in, like, a sneaky fashion, trying not to kill people or as few as possible, trying to sneak past and knock people out where I could, you know, avoiding hurting people. But now, I'm playing as Corvo, and I'm still having to sneak and stuff of that sort, but whether or not I kill people is no longer of concern. You know, now we do what we must to get where we need. We don't care what happens along the way. We do what it needs to be done without second thoughts. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. For right now, hope you all enjoyed this episode of Dishonored 2. If you did, think about leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Other than that, be good, be well, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.
Can't make it easier. That's what I'm saying. We need a network of shop.